Pachakhangun intellectual aro developmental disability ase taikanimide NGO blessed bonding gohina aji dimapuri launch kurise detuno nakro state commissioner for PWD's progress kurina edu NGO blessed bonding do intellectual development disability thakya Pachakhan laga parents laga initiative la laga ase detuno nakro bra gushe state etia tak stigma do ase holibi awareness dia do improve hoise gushe program de Alun Hang Singh chairman NSC PCRP Kotagrisha Ibidula details.
Blessed bonding, it may be new to all of you, but today, here we are because we the parents, with the children of intellectual and developmental disabilities, we have a reason to form this group, and I will relate the message to you as to why and how we are going to function. Blessed bonding, it was formed in 2024 this year officially, and we are launching today. And we have our office at Duncan Road, and a room was donated by our Madam Akokla for our office. Thanks to her. And we have around 200 registered members currently. Today, the others may see you as a parent, but I see you as the most courageous people gathered here. The people who will go to any extent for the children. That's how we appreciate each other. That's how we stand up for each other. As a parent of a special child myself, I understand your feeling, your thoughts, and how we go through. The name Blessed Bonding, as it suggests, we take it as a blessing, not a curse. Others may see our child with some other intentions, or I don't know the mentality, but we look it as a gift from God because it is a sign of unconditional love and which we shower upon our children abundantly. And it is our duty to convey this message to the outer world also. Not all are familiar with intellectual disability. The term may have different meaning for others, but as a parent, we know that it has so many challenges. And as a caregiver, it is our duty to fulfill those challenges for our children. And as our ma'am has suggested, they cannot speak, they cannot advocate for themselves. It is the parent who has to stand up for them to any extent.
We still have a lot of stigma about disability in general, whatever disability it may be. I myself am, as you all can see, I'm a person with disability, so I know this first-hand experience, as you might call it. My lived experience is there, so I do know this, and it is very difficult even for parents also to even, first of all, you know, when we find out that, a child has an issue, there is something going on, which, as Alun was just saying now, it is very difficult to understand because we've never heard of many of the conditions that are there, that our children are experiencing, the problems that are having. The first time we'll be hearing and then wondering, what is it? What's going on? We don't even understand the problem, first of all. So it is very, very difficult for, parents also to accept also in the beginning. Then after that acceptance comes again, we have to deal with all the societal stigmas that are there, the prejudices, the kind of whispering behind our backs that we all go through, So it's very difficult for us to just come out and stand up and speak up also. That is something that is not easy to do. So I sincerely appreciate that parents, many of you all have come together to start this organization, to speak up, to be the voice of your children. Many, they are still young, many of our children, and then many are their disabilities. We all know that there are many different categories of disabilities, first of all, and then again there are different degrees of disabilities also, as we all know. So for some of our children, the parents will have to be their lifelong advocates in many ways. And I'm really grateful also, and I sincerely appreciate that you all have come out, to speak up, to be your children's voices, to stand up together, and even to support each other and support others as well. Things are changing slowly. That is a good thing in our society now. Even within this, 3-4 years, I think we have seen a huge change coming about in our society. Awareness has become so much better now. We still have a long way to go, but awareness certainly has improved a lot. I'm sure you all will agree with me. The church has to be fully involved in this. It has to be part of the mission, the ministry that they carry out. Now, this is something so important. There's a huge role the church can play in the disability sector, and that is what we are trying to encourage them also. As we all know, there are so many things that we are, behind in. And I always keep on saying, unless we speak the truth, it's, we cannot move forward. And the truth is that disability sector is such a neglected sector for many years. Till a few years ago, nobody was bothering about the disability sector. To be honest, that is very true. Government also, they have not... See, our Disability Act has been there since 1995, the old one. Imagine that. And not even a single law has been properly implemented at all. That is the truth. Now the one that is in force is the new updated version, that is the 2016 Act. So now since then, of course, there has been a lot of push. Our movement also has grown. So now the government is also much more aware than earlier. So a lot of things are going, but we still have, because of all the neglect in the past, not even a single program was properly started. We don't even have a single, service, proper rehabilitation services being provided. You all, as parents of children with disabilities, you all will be very much aware of this. You need something. Yeah, those who can afford, they take their children somewhere, Guwahati, Delhi, Calcutta, whatever you have to take them here and there. Yet in our own distinct, we don't even have the services. Why? Because nobody bothered about all these things, Otherwise, it should have been there from long time ago, and we should be building on those. But the thing is, now we have to start from scratch. Everything has to start from scratch. The good thing is, as I said, with the awareness that is improving now, a lot of in the private sector also are now starting various kinds of, services and institutions, centers to provide support to people with disabilities, as well as their families, caregivers, and things like that. So that's the good thing that is happening now, that movement that has started. That is a good thing, but we still have a long way to go. All of us coming together, working together to to keep on pushing our agenda. We need to push for our children, for the disabled community to be fully included, to be given the equal opportunities as equal citizens. That is the one thing. So people sometimes they ask me, what are disability rights? What do you keep on talking about the rights of disabled people, But what is disability rights? It's nothing more than equal opportunities for disabled people. That is disability rights, because they are not getting equal opportunities. As I said, they are being left out of everything. They are not being counted at all. You just look at any of the government programs, for example, one huge project. Now, this project is going on. Then we find out that there are no provisions at all for people with disabilities to be included in this program. For women, it is there. For, this section of society, it is there. For that section, the disabled people are nowhere to be, nowhere to be found. So now we have to start fighting. Well, how are you all going to include disabled people in these programs, in these projects? So disabled people are always left out, not counted. And so we are just fighting for, not for anything special also, I keep on saying. So actually we in the disabled movement, we disabled people ourselves, we don't even like the word special needs. Because when we say special needs, then it's like we are asking for something special. But we understand that the official term that is used is special needs. But what we say is, it's not special needs, it's needs. Like a non-disabled child has needs, which we provide for, which society has to provide for, which the government has to provide for. So a disabled child also has needs. So don't look at it as special needs, it is just needs. Provide our needs, the way like you provide their needs, So we don't like the word special needs also, though we understand that officially that is something used in education, in, in some programs and things like that. So that is there. And then, because that's why I keep on saying my needs as a person, as a wheelchair user, my needs are not special, because many people, they like to call me as a special needs person also, say my needs are not special, I just need accessibility, a ramp. You'll have, put up this ramp here. Thank you very much. But, it's not there. So to go somewhere, I need a ramp to get inside a building. Or if I have to go upstairs, then if there is no lift, or a proper ramp that can take me up, then I cannot go up and do my work upstairs, or whatever it may be. Just the day before, I was invited to a program, the SDG team under the planning department, they are coming up with this one coffee table book, and that has been going on for some time. So I was honored to be featured as one of the, what they've titled the coffee table book is, what was that? Inspirational Women of Nagaland or something like that. So I was included. So I was honored to be included. So the entire process was going on for months. So day before, they were launching, the launching event was being held at the Oriental. So they invited me, said, oh, okay, fine, I'll be there. I went and found out that they were holding it at the second level, second floor, on the second floor of the hotel there, and there was no lift, no nothing, and so I couldn't go up to join them. All of them, the organizers were very apologetic, of course, but I was very annoyed, and I made sure that they come down, and I told them also, I'm really, really disappointed. Now, SDG, this is, I'm sure you all have all heard about it, the Sustainable Development Goals, which is now 2030. Now, we are reaching 2030, and yet we are a long way behind. This is a United Nations SDG program. So, sustainable development, we are talking about sustainable development. Without disability inclusion, how is any development going to be sustainable? So I was questioning the team also. Imagine, you all have invited me, you are calling me an inspirational woman of Nagaland, and you don't even bother to provide accessibility for me to be able to join your program. So that means I'm not inspirational enough to be included, So I made a long thread in my Twitter account and put it up. So now it's running around that this thing. But anyway, it's it's not because I want to humiliate someone or do something like that, but that's the only way that we can create this awareness, the more we talk about these issues that we are facing. So see, I tend to go on too long about with my speeches, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about those issues. So I'm really, really happy with this, with this launch. And I do seriously, sincerely believe that it will be a support group also, bringing parents together. I think this is so important, because many times, as we said, last time also we held a parents program. Some of you all may be there, which may have been there. So I was talking about that at that time also, sometimes we, mentally also, it affects many, many families. Having a disabled child, or some may have even more than one also, 2, 3 disabled. I know of some families who have, 2, 3 children with different kinds of disabilities. So it's not easy. Being a parent is a joy. I am also a parent, so I know it's, the joy of being a parent is, only a parent can express the kind of joy. But then we all have to admit also, it's not an easy job also, isn't it, being a parent? Think about it, it's not always a bed of roses. So many challenges are there and so many unexpected things. With a non-disabled child also, it's like that. I'm not a parent of a disabled child, but just as a parent, I know the problems that are there, being a parent. Now put a disabled child over there, being a parent of a disabled child, there are so many challenges that you face along the ways, as Kokla also had mentioned earlier, it really, a lot of patience needs to be there, a lot of resilience is needed in order to be able to, cope with the challenges that are thrown your way on a daily basis. And so this also, there is a lot of, it affects people in different ways. And so sometimes there is no one that you can turn to, talk to. And so when we build this network of support among ourselves, it is there, one or the other is always there to listen, to talk. One day, some days you may feel, what do I do about this? If we can have someone that we can call up and talk about there. That kind of situation you may come across. If that network is there, we can support each other also.
Today, even the government of the day also has taken cognizance of the importance of dealing with the disabilities in many ways. And I also feel that this is one very important area which every one of us, when I say every one of us, everybody is a stakeholder here, okay? As a parent, as a brother, as a sister, as an uncle, as an auntie, we are all stakeholders. It is not only the organizations or the commissions that are in place. Everybody is a stakeholder here. And the main objective, our main objective, all of us, our main objective is how to create a very vibrant, then a well-developed society in the future. And for that matter, it all starts with our children. Unless we take care of their rights or their needs, especially the disabilities, then we don't see a bright future, There'll be always a discrimination sort of things, and which we do not want that. When we say disability, there are different types of disability. One is mental health. Another is physical. So it covers a vast area when you say disability. I really appreciate you all parents coming forward, and forming this NGO, which will be of a great help to all the needy children.
We should make sure that there is intentional inclusion of persons with disabilities from the very beginning stage. Not just that, just do everything, and then at the end, just to make them happy, just to make them feel included, let's just put them. Now, a lot of our attitude is like that. So it should not be that. From the very beginning, whatever programs, whatever things that is to be implemented has to be inclusive from the very beginning. Now, we should also try to create an open environment for persons with disabilities, and where they feel understood, where they feel heard, and where they are empowered also. And in any planning, in any social investigation, it is also important that we identify groups or identify individuals with disabilities and plan the workflow accordingly. Now, at the community level, it's imperative that we start educating and sensitizing. And in this context, I'm sure we are coming along, because a lot of awareness happens once in a while in different places, and many are, do know about what this disability or what disability is all about, and not just the physical disability, but also the cognitive challenges that comes along with disabilities. So again, the very initiative of blessed bonding, is raising awareness also and sensitization within the community. And in any community activities, there again, at the community level also, we need to include people with disabilities in all of the activities. Another important thing that we also need to incorporate in the creating of awareness is constructions, be it in terms of building structures or any places. We should advocate for disabled-friendly structures.
To be a parent of a person with intellectual and developmental disability is not a choice, but I would say chosen. You are chosen. But it is not an easy road. The weight on your shoulder is indeed very heavy. I know it. No one can understand you better than you understand each other's responsibility. So I pray that God will give you the strength in carrying the extraordinary weight that is on your shoulder, divine wisdom in imparting edification, incessant love in carrying your children. No one of you have chosen this path. I know you have cried so many times and might have questioned yourself with so many unanswered questions. But 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 18 says, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus." Naka society had been plagued and blinded by superstitions for so many decades. And unfortunately, there were so many societal stigmas of life. And one such was children born with disabilities. For so many decades, the church was not sensitive at all to address the needs of the parents who are crying. The church was not sensitive to give an ear, to listen to the stories, the hardships that you are going through. But about 2 decades now, we see a flicker of light. The church has taken up this issue to sensitize, educate the congregation. Yet in implementation, the church still failed to practically come forward. On the other hand, the schools in Nagaland, particularly in Nagaland, were not inclusive schools. Many schools didn't open doors for us. In 2018 only, under the state government under SSA, Right to Education Act 2018-19, inclusive education was launched. However, sadly, a systematic, upgraded implementation is yet to be realized. That is what we see. It is indeed very heartening to see young generations who are well informed and have really big hearts advocating inclusive education. We all have certain shortcomings, certain disabilities in our body, in our physical body. Churches can foster the belief that people with IDD have unique gifts and a vital role to play in the church community. This could mean providing platforms where their voices are heard, their talents are celebrated, and they are empowered to serve within the church. So I just want to point some practical rules for churches. I don't know, we don't have church leaders here, but because the topic demands, so I will just quickly. So inclusive worship and theology need to be adopted. Churches can adopt inclusive theology that recognizes the values of every individual. Worship services can be designed to accommodate people with disabilities through sensory-friendly environments, accessible space, and simplified liturgy, and that ensures full participation. The second one is support and education for families. Many families are dealing with IDD, and the challenges that you are facing are all unique.